would introduce yourself to the jury by telling them your full name and spell your first name and your last name.
Aaliyaah Garrett, Aaliyaah,
Thank you, ma'am. Please proceed.
That's a good volume and a good pace for your speech, okay? So try to keep that up. How old are you, Miss Garrett?
19.
So back in July of 2014, how old were you?
Like 14, 15.
Now, do you know a person named Alexandria Chery?
Yes.
And when did you first meet Miss Chery? How old were you?
I was like probably 5, 6.
All right. How would you describe, well, did you become friends right away?
We were at Easter egg hunt.
You were at an Easter egg hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you hit it off right away and become friends?
Yeah, because like we were looking for the eggs. It was me, Dana, and Alex.
And Dana St. Fleur?
Yes.
Did you remain friends with Alex Chery from the time you met her at that young age through her disappearance in July of 2014?
Yes.
Now, did you go to the same high school?
No.
Which high school did you go to?
Evans.
Once you became teenagers and started high school, how often would you see each other?
Every week.
Was it usually on the weekends?
Oh, well, when I was in high school, we really didn't get to see each other like that because I wasn't going to Evans. That's all the way on the other side of the world, and she was like going to Corey and Olympia. Yes.
Okay, so when would you see her if you were at different schools?
On the weekend.
What about during the summer? Would you see her more often?
Oh yeah, I'd be at her house like almost every day.
Okay. Now, did you know her family members well?
Yes.
And did you ever meet her stepfather, Sanel Saint Simon?
Yes.
And do you see the person you know as Sanel Saint Simon in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you please point to him and describe an article of his clothing, particularly the color of his jacket?
Gray jacket.
Could you point him out, please?
Right there.
Let me the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Record will so reflect.
Now, were there times where you, your friend Alex Chery, and Dana wanted to go out, particularly at night, to places that Alex's mother did not want you to go?
Yes.
What types of places were they?
The club. The movies.
And how old were you when you wanted to go to these clubs?
Like 15. Well, Alex was always the oldest, so she was like 16 and we was like 15, yeah.
Were you and Miss St. Fleur the same age?
Yes, but Dana was older than me by like months.
Okay. Now, were any of you able to drive at that time?
Not legally, but yes.
Well, that's a good answer under oath, I suppose. Did you, despite Rosalie Joseph saying no, still manage to go out to these places with your friend Alex Chery on a regular basis?
Yes.
How would you get to those locations?
Sanel.
And that's Mr. St. Simon.
Yes.
When you say that that's how you would get there, would he drive you?
Yes.
And you and Alex knew you weren't supposed to be out. Is that fair?
Yes.
So when you say he would drive you, would you leave from the apartment? How would he end up getting you in the car?
So they should stay in the house over there, like by Winter Garden, Windmere area.
Okay.
And we used to like go out to like the park or something. He'll pick us up.
So you would go to a location away from the house, and the defendant would pick you up there, meet you, and take you where you wanted to go?
Yes.
Now, do you recall a specific incident where you were talking to Alexandria Chery on FaceTime and the defendant entered her room?
Yes.
Where were you when this happened?
At Dana's house.
Was Dana with you at her house?
Yes.
Which room of the house were you in?
Dana's room.
Now, it's FaceTime, so that should mean you could see Miss Chery through the other end of the phone. Is that right?
Correct.
And do you know where she was during this conversation?
At home,
And how do you know that she was at home?
because I remember her bedroom.
Now, prior to the incident we're about to talk about, how long had you been on the phone?
For about 30 minutes to an hour. Yes.
And what were you discussing in that 30 minutes to an hour?
About going to Universal.
And that would be Universal Studios?
Yes.
Were you supposed to go that day or that night?
Yes.
Do you recall what time of day this conversation occurred?
Like 3, 4 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yes.
So at some point, well, what was Alex's demeanor or attitude like during that 30 minutes to an hour before the incident?
Happy, ready to go.
All right. Now, at some point, did you become aware that some of that fact?
Because Alex told us that her dad was coming in the room to give her money.
Did you actually hear a knock or anything else at the door?
No.
After Alex told you that, what happened next?
After Alex told us that her dad was going to bring her money, she
Oh,
told
I'm sorry, did she say anything else after she said that?
yes, she said stay on the phone because he's about to bring me money.
Okay? Did she indicate how she felt about you needing to stay on the phone? Or why?
She said she was scared.
After she said that, did she put the phone down?
Yes.
Right? Were you able to see anything on the other end of the phone?
No.
Were you able to hear what was happening while she was away from the phone?
No.
Did she eventually come back to the phone?
Yes.
Do you know how long it was between when she put the phone down and when she came back to the phone?
10 to 15 seconds.
When she picked the phone back up, could you see Alexandria Chery's face and upper body?
Yes.
Did she say something to you when she picked up the phone and you could see her?
Judge, I'm sorry, can we approach the bench for a second?
No, sir. Once again, it was an unthinkable moment, so it wasn't like we just talk about it on the daily. It was like it was a subject. We had more to life. So, therefore, if Alex was to come to us about a situation, then we would talk about it with her. But other than that, there wasn't a time we just sat down and actually talked about it amongst each other or with anybody else.
Okay, you said there was an unthinkable moment, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Was it so unthinkable that you were laughing about it?
No, sir.
Did you ever laugh about this incident?
No, that's not an incident anybody would want to laugh to.
When, did you in fact tell the, well, let me rephrase the question. Did you, the first time you told this, about this alleged incident to anyone apart from Dana, was right after Mr. Saint Simon was arrested for this case, isn't that correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
She didn't answer.
She did not answer. I'll allow it.
I'm sorry?
The first time that you told anybody about this alleged incident, apart from Dana, was when you talked to the detectives shortly after Mr. Saint Simon was arrested for the murder of your friend.
Correct. So the only time I spoke of it was when she passed away. It was like a week after we found out she was missing. Detectives came to my house and they asked me among them, and I told them the incident.
And yet you couldn't be troubled to contact the police before?
No, sir. I was
You were too busy.
14. No, not too busy. It's not that I was too busy. Once again, I was young.
Redirect.
No questions.
All right. May she be excused
She is.
from the subpoena also?
Yes, sir.